All right. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father. At Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. A link will be in the description box below, as usual. This video is entitled The Thing About the Kanye Situation. You have people upset. You have people in agreement. And me, I think what he said was silly. I think some people's perspectives is silly too. But maybe not for the reasons everybody else thinks. And I think some of the people and celebrities who have been commenting back and making their stance, I find them just as hypocritical, or just as, if we're going to call people coonish or out of their mind, as Kanye. So that's where I'm going to start. Don Lemon has something to say about Kanye's statements as ignorant and arrogant and stupid. When did Don Lemon care about black people like that? Just saying. The dude that made great points that works for TMZ. And he wanted to, he told Kanye what he felt was the truth, which I can agree with most of what he said, to be perfectly honest. But his job is to throw black dudes under the bus on a regular basis, because TMZ has a history of just throwing black dudes under the bus and letting everybody else get off scot-free. So, now he's speaking for the people? And this is the thing about the Kanye situation. When Kanye said that George Bush doesn't care about black people, everybody was on board. Now that Kanye says this nonsense, everybody jumps off ship. But the thing about it is, everybody's jumping on board with people who have basically been throwing a community under the bus now that they disagree with Kanye. Like, have you not looked at the people that have something to say? Bro, like most of these hip hop aficionado DJs, personalities who aren't artists, they've been pushing and co-signing murder, death, drugs for the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and now all of a sudden they got a conscience about, Kanye's so wrong. And we're going to spin this record, we killing everybody in sight that look like a nigga. Like, what? Oh, now y'all got issues. See, this is what bothers the thing about the Kanye situation. Because I get, I get what he said was wrong. And I'm going to get into why in a minute. But I also get, this is the issue that we're having in the community. You see, when you go back and forth liking people and disliking people when they say or do something wrong, we never pay attention to who the people that we may agree with what they said. We never judge them accordingly. Like, wait a minute. Okay, we on the same team with this, but you have a history of being a traitor to the community. So I can't just prop you up like, because you going against Kanye, now you with the team again. Nah, can't do it. Sorry. Now, the slavery was a choice thing. Here's my issue with that. Because it's viewed as if the black people who were slaves or in slavery were weak because they didn't choose to get from under that oppression, which is a lie. But put a pin in that. We live in oppression today. And a lot of y'all people act so radical, like what y'all wouldn't do, what y'all wouldn't take if y'all were slaves. We live in oppression today under the guise of freedom, and you know it ain't freedom. What you gonna do about it now? Nothing. So you got more, we got more weapons than we did back then. We didn't have any weapons. We have more ability to pick up and leave than back then. They didn't have any ability to leave, get a passport, hop on a plane, train, get in a car, drive off type thing, right? So I find it odd, very odd, that you're in your air-conditioned space knowing you living under oppression, talking about the people who didn't have the weapons nor the travel mechanisms can fight back and leave better than you can. Just saying. Now, going back, people act as though people during slavery never fought. And see, this is a problem with people in history in general. Y'all don't know it. Y'all don't know the history of slave revolts in America. Obviously. Because then y'all say, yeah, there was a few. Yeah, when y'all say a few, y'all mean like 2, 3, 4. Part of the fear of the angry black man trope comes from 2 places. One is Africa, because how long it took to colonize Africa and how many people got killed and how much they had to go to China for gunpowder and get bullets and cannonballs to actually win, because they couldn't do it hand to hand. That's one of them. The second one is here, because these slaves was killing the shit out of people. Everybody wasn't taking it. And yeah, some people jumped off the boats, and some people landed here and became slaves and started killing these white pirate criminals that y'all like to call slave owners, right? And their families. That's part of where the fear comes from, because there was always revenge involved. But y'all gonna act like that don't exist. You're gonna act like, but that's the part of history that people ignore. And I understand, because it's not put out there like talk about. It's not really put out there like talk about, because it's the docile thing. They want that docile thing to be prevalent. But then, small tidbit of information that y'all all know: gospel songs came from old Negro spirituals, and some of those old Negro spirituals was people who were on those plantations giving word for other people to escape. But y'all skip over that. There was just a few people. That was just a couple of people. It wasn't, for them to do something like that. It wasn't really, it sounds like a plan that's been thought out and has been used over and over again, because if they're singing the same spiritual over and over again and telling people when to stop and when to go, it's not like a lot of people got away. They've been singing the same spiritual for decades, but whatever. The Uncle Tom, the reference, which, Uncle Tom was a good character. You backwards, they went it backwards. The house Negro, field Negro. You can't tell people the plan. Ideology doesn't come from guys trying to escape or trying to kill folks. But y'all skip over that. The other thing about the Kanye situation. Oh, no. Let me back up a little bit. Y'all act like guys didn't escape to Canada, to Florida, West, did not join the colonial marines, did not wind up fighting with the Union also. So we fought with the British against slavery, fought in America against slavery, fought in Mexico against slavery. The Seminole Indians, if you research enough, you find out there's like a bunch of runaway slaves who, basically hooked up with the Native Americans, and they had a tribe, and they were known for fighting folks because they wasn't with it in Florida, because you had to go to certain places, right? And, not just covering how much land you had to cover to get there. But people act like that didn't happen. So it was a choice thing is always out of context. Now, the thing about the Kanye situation about it being a choice. When they put out pictures of Kanye making this statement, you notice they have him with blonde hair. When people put up pictures of other people who say they believe it, they kind of look assimilated, and some of the guys have these little assimilated rock whitish hairstyles. The women have blonde hair. That's not. They are presented publicly as people who are trying to appropriate whiteness now, and that's why they're in agreement with it. That's the problem. It's a couple other things before I shut this down. How I know y'all full of it? Because most of you won't say that the Holocaust, like Jews chose to be in the Holocaust. You won't. See, then it's gonna be, well, see what happened was, and then the people who say, yeah, they saying yeah to be contrary, just to act like they making both points, but they'll back that shit up, cause their inner, I'm big, bad, and black, but when white folks come up, I'm scary comes up, so they try to go one way and then they come back another. Wait, I don't want to piss off the white people. I noticed that too. Now, the flip side of this, let's go back. If a person to say something radical like, okay, since it was your choice, maybe we need to get these guns together and start shooting and enslaving white folks. Them same black people that say it's a choice, it was a choice. So we need to do this very same thing that they did, right? Wait, it ain't got to be all that, brother. Whoa. This is the part of the peace and love, and we're all friends and family. See, how you gonna be, I was a punk on this end. Okay, well, let's rectify that and be a gangster on this end. No. That's the problem. That's the problem right there. It's just talk. At the end of the day, it's just talk. So, I really don't, because I've heard that before. I've heard it before. And I know it's just talk from a comfortable situation. That's all. As far as it being Kanye, everybody know. I said this is Kanye being Kanye. Kanye made this statement now. We were all slaves. We're all slaves was a song he had a couple years ago. The epic rants over the last 10, 15 years. That always talk tough but back down in the end because he don't want no problems. You get what I'm saying? It's the same thing. But like I said before, now that Kanye crossed the line with black folks, now it's okay. He had been crossing the line with brothers for years. That Sway stuff was disrespectful. The Jay-Z, oh, you know what, dog? Don't send no people at me, dog. But if you took $20 million and walked off from somebody, you want him to call you because y'all got robbed? I mean, damn, that's quite arrogant. So, and I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just saying. And before I go, the other artists, especially the black rappers who have an issue with Kanye saying this, dude, y'all don't have an issue with saying how many of your black brothers you gonna kill. Y'all don't have an issue with saying how much drugs you sold over the years. Y'all don't have an issue saying that you'll take somebody's girlfriend or screw somebody's wife. So why would I listen to y'all? Oh, you got a moral compass because of Kanye today? Y'all don't have a problem putting drugs, money, and hoes over your own children. So all of a sudden, because Kanye says something that you don't agree with, which I don't agree with, I need to listen to your ethics. I don't think so. That's just my opinion. We out.